All right, so today we're doing something a little different. We're not looking at some huge historical event. Instead, we're going to zoom way in on just one single, unforgettable character. We're going to spend one Saturday afternoon back in 1912 with Johnny Nolan, the charming, troubled, singing waiter from A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, and see what just a few hours can reveal about an entire life.
So he gets home around 5 o'clock, and this is the first thing he says, this simple, beautiful thought. A day like this is like somebody giving you a present. Right there, in that moment, he isn't some guy weighed down by the world. Nope, he's a man who sees the gift in a simple day. And that charm, that ability to find joy in the little things, well, that's one whole side of Johnny Nolan.
And just look at the welcome he gets. The man doesn't just walk in, he sings his way up the stairs. And his daughter Francie, his prima donna, she's right there waiting. You can feel that immediate, joyful connection. This is not a father who's feared or resented, not at all. He is absolutely adored. His arrival is the highlight of her day.
So why is he so happy? Well, think about it. If you're a freelance singing waiter, a Saturday where you actually have a job is a very good Saturday. He's working a wedding party tonight, which means guaranteed wages, the potential for tips, and a chance to do what he loves. This one job is pretty much the anchor for his whole mood.
And just like that, they fall right into their comfortable little routine. Francie immediately steps into a role. She's heating his coffee, getting the sugar bun they saved for him, ironing his apron. And you can just tell this isn't a chore for her. No way. It's a ritual of love and care. It's this really quiet, sweet domestic scene built on all these small, repeated acts of affection.
Okay, so as Francie is ironing his apron, Johnny starts talking about something he holds almost sacred, the waiters' union. For him, that union label isn't just a piece of cloth sewn into a seam. Oh no. To him, it's like an ornament, like a rose you'd wear. It's a true symbol of his pride and his dignity.
And you could totally see why he feels this way. Before the union, his work was a total gamble. Bosses could pay him whatever they felt like, which sometimes meant nothing at all. Get this, they could even charge waiters for the privilege of working. But the union, it gives him guaranteed wages, it helps him get jobs, and it gives him a sense of belonging. For a man with so little control over his life, it's a bedrock of security and self-respect.
But just as we're seeing this proud, principled man, the other shoe drops. The tragic flaw is revealed. Francie remembers overhearing this devastating truth back at the union hall. The wages, yeah, they go home to his wife. But the tips? All that extra money, all that hope, that goes straight to the bartender to pay off his drinking tab. His pride in his work is immediately undercut by his weakness.
And just like that, the whole mood shifts dramatically. The happy, optimistic father we just saw, he kind of fades away, and a darker, more confessional man emerges. He just starts talking, using his 11-year-old daughter as a sounding board. And he starts with this brutal assessment of himself. All that talkative joy from his homecoming just curdles into this raw, painful honesty.
He gives her the short, sad version of his life story. The son of poor Irish immigrants, forced to quit school in the 6th grade when his own father died. He never really had a choice, you know? Never got the education to become the real singer he dreamed of being. He just drifted. It's a life defined not by ambition, but by a total lack of options.
And here it is, his own explanation. And it's not an excuse, it's a confession. He sees the life a man is supposed to lead, steady work, providing for your family, and he knows, deep down, he's just not built for it. The weight of being a husband and father is a burden he feels like he simply cannot carry, and so drinking is his escape.
There's no poetry here, he's not trying to soften the blow at all, it's just the plain, devastating truth. In this quiet moment with his daughter, he admits this profound sadness that he lives with every single day. It's a moment of just incredible vulnerability.
He keeps going with this self-evaluation, and man, it is brutal. He knows the script, right? A man with a family should be a hardworking man, but he admits he isn't. He sees this huge mismatch between who he is and who he's supposed to be, and it's a gap that he just can't seem to close.
And then, the line that must have felt like a physical blow to Francie. It's pretty much the most painful thing a child can hear from a parent. And it just reveals the depth of how trapped he feels, not because he doesn't love them, but because he's in a life he never chose and feels utterly unprepared for.
But he sees the sadness on her face, and he immediately backtracks. It makes it clear this isn't about them. He loves Katie, he loves his children. His despair isn't about them being unlovable, it's about him feeling unworthy of them.
incapable of being the father and husband that they deserve. So, how does he fix this? How does he pull both of them out of this pit of sadness that he just dug? He does the only thing a guy like him knows how to do. He dreams. He pivots from that harsh reality to a beautiful, impossible fantasy. And it's all for Francie. And just listen to this plan. It's a total fantasy, a pipe dream, as he calls it. First, he's going to get a lot of tips. Then I'll put $2 on a good horse and win 10. Put that 10 on another, win 100. Run it all the way up to 500. And why? So he can take Francie down where the cotton blossoms blow. It's completely unrealistic, but the whole thing is built on a foundation of love. Every step is about one thing, giving his daughter a magical escape.
And he even sings the song that inspires it. He turns the dream into music. And you realize that someone waiting for him, it's not a lover. It's his daughter, Francie. He's framing this entire fantasy completely around her, making her the princess in his fairy tale. And this is the heartbreaking paradox of Johnny Nolan. His daughter's unconditional love, the very thing he craves, is also what causes him the most pain. Because every single time she says, "I love you," it's just a reminder of how much he feels he's failing her. Her love magnifies his own sense of being a hell of a father. The confession is over. The dream has been shared. And now it's time for work. And with this, we get to see another transformation. Johnny puts aside the unhappy man and becomes the professional, the performer.
The details of his uniform really tell a story. A clean, ironed apron, a 7-cent dickie, which is a disposable shirt front, a paper collar he'll only wear once. These are the tools of dignified poverty. But then you see the pearl wedding studs that are never pawned, and the heavy black silk tie that he ties with such pride. He creates an entire illusion of elegance out of almost nothing.
And the final effect is just dazzling. Yeah, the tuxedo is threadbare, but it fits him perfectly. His wavy blonde hair gleams, he smells clean. Through sheer charisma and just careful presentation, he transforms himself from a poor man in a worn-out suit into a handsome, dashing figure who's ready for the stage.
And this is the last image Francie has of him leaving. Not the sad, confessing father, but this gallant, almost heroic figure. As the trolley starts up, he stands on the back platform, holding on, and leans way out just to wave to her. He's like a movie star leaving for a premiere, waving to his one adoring fan. For just a moment, he is the man he dreams of being, and he gives that perfect final image to his daughter.
So we're left with this question, aren't we? How do we remember those who are both beautiful and broken? Johnny Nolan is a drunk and a failure by his own admission, but he's also a loving father, a proud union man, and a dreamer who can make a drab Saturday feel like a present. He's both, all tangled up together. And the novel doesn't ask us to forgive him or condemn him, but simply to see him in all his beautiful, broken complexity.